Well, good evening, baseball fans. Welcome back to Prairie to Chien, Ken Manning, Western Wisconsin Video Productions, along with Chuck Rasmussen, as we get set to bring you this final game of the day. It is game number 5, 4 in the books, but 5 for us as we had that makeup game from last night after the rainout. But tonight, this ball game, it features 2 undefeated ball teams, and it will be Jackson taking on Little Chute. So this could be a very, very good ball game, Chuck.
Yes, it should be. Little Chute, first batter, it's already batted, and it's going to be a 1-3 put out. That was Charlie Vandenberg. Really quickly underway here. I'm just making a couple notes in my book here, too.
Yeah, they didn't waste any time. But you know what? Lynn Eisensee is behind the plate.
Oh, okay, I'm going to back this up here. That was Jackson Wallen that just batted. This is Sam Elke batting for Jackson. Elke, number 6. Elke playing right field tonight.
I would think that, I'm trying to remember now, the winner of the Denmark-Verokva game, which was Denmark 2-0 in 8 innings, and the winner of tonight's game, that's got to put them in the top 4, I would believe, you know, for the tournament, because there'll be 2 teams undefeated in a double elimination.
Ground ball hit to the third baseman. That's going to be an E5.
That ricocheted off in a hurry.
Elke into second. Bring up Landon Hagen out. The shortstop.
Little Chute picking up the win with, just a key win. That was this morning over Prairie to Chien, come from behind. 4-3 victory in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Fly ball out towards right. Right fielder will catch it. Fired in quickly. Elke will go on to third. Two outs.
Little Chute using, talking with Coach Brady Wigman earlier today before the game started this morning, about 8:15 or so, and the pitcher that they threw against Prairie to Chien, he felt was their number 3 pitcher, a young guy that just really does a good job battling, he said, and well, they kind of rolled the dice and they won in both accounts.
Hunter Abitz batting now. On the mound is Charlie Vandenberg, number 19. Fouled off. By a bit. Silas Akala behind the plate. Garrett Johnson is at first. Roland Schmidt, the second baseman. Brock Gardner is at shortstop.
Count is move full now, Chuck.
And count is full, and there's a fly ball to left, and the catch will be made for out number 3.
Well, no score here after the first half inning with Little Chute and Jackson. Little Chute coming to bat as the home team. Taking a look at all of our sponsors that you're going to be seeing throughout today's broadcast here. Hope that things continue to go smooth here and you'll enjoy the broadcast with folks out on that eastern side of the state.
Reeder Tay on the mound. And batting first for Little Chute will be Charlie Vandenberg. He'll be followed by Caden Kerrigan and then Drew Jotton. The 1-0 pitch swung on and missed. Another swing and miss. We've seen some really, really good pitching so far in this tournament. And some excellent defense also.
Yeah, they've really been playing so well.
There's a strikeout.
You know, a lot of this, too, depends, Chuck, especially after today, what kind of number 3s and number 4s do you have for pitching?
Very much so. This is going to bring up Caden Kerrigan. Kerrigan playing left field. One out. The 1-0 pitch. Two-0. Make that 3. There's a called strike on Kerrigan. Beautiful evening here in Prairie du Chien at the Dillman Memorial Field. 3-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. Count is full. Ken will give you the umpire crew here fairly soon. There's a swing and miss. 2 strikeouts for Chute.
Well, taking a look at the umpires, Lynn Eisensee from Sparta is behind home plate doing the balls and strikes. Vernon Deans down at first. Nick Betts covering second, and Rich Kaiser will take care of the base path and third.
There's a ground ball foul. This is Drew Jotten. Can apologize as far as some pronunciations.
I would think Jolton is.
Jolton?
It would certainly look like it to me.
Joten, I believe, is the spelling. Hunter Abitz behind the plate. Count 1-1. Called strike. Make it 1-2 with 2 outs. Take for ball 2. And we've got a full count again. Ground ball foul. It's pitch number 16 for Chute. And the pitch again. There's a fly ball out towards center field. Center fielder will draw back, and he'll get the catch for out number 3. We go to the second. No score.
He had to be on his horse a little bit on that one to track it down. Back with more. Well, here we go with the top of the second here with Chuck.
All right, it'll be Ben Mallow, number 7, the third baseman, leading things off. No score. After 1, he'll be followed by Carson Rao and then Ben Stern. Follows that pitch back. Charlie Vandenberg on the mound. Silas Alcala behind the plate. There's a fly ball slicing out of play down the first base line. Be Garrett Johnson at first. Rowan Schmidt is at second. Drew Joten, the shortstop. And Brock Gardner is at third. Caden Kerrigan is in left. Tyler Fisher in center field, and Ethan Melendrez is in right. The 0-2 pitch. Taken for a ball.
Watching the catcher here, Chuck, and he is he's talking a little bit here with Lynn Eisenstein. I think it might be positioning and stuff. And then he glances over, and Coach Brady Wigman flashes him some signs.
Two and two. Nobody out. Top half of inning 2. Okay. Apparently the scoreboard was incorrect, and that was a walk to Mallow. Going to bring up Carson Rao. Rao, the first baseman, number 2. Quick toss over to first. Close play. A show, a bunt. Bat pulled back, but still a strike. Third baseman, Gardner, in on the grass a couple steps. There's a bunt attempt, foul. Runner at first is Ben Mallow. No one out. 2 strikes on the batter.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if he comes up with that base hit now after failing to get the bunt down.
Count 2 and 2 on Rao. Will be popped up down the first base side. Garrett Johnson will make the catch for out number 1. Bring up Ben Stern, the center fielder. Number 18.
Number 18, Ben Stern.
1 down. Runner gets his lead there at first. Runner again, pretty good lead.
Chuck,
even at 1-1, yes.
When you were coaching, did you have kids wearing that glove to protect the hand like we see at first with the runner?
No, I had not seen that till just a few years ago.
Okay. I didn't know if it was how long it had been around.
No. Runner takes off, and it's a fly ball towards center, the center fielder. Good hustle there by Tyler Fisher. He'll make the catch for out number 2.
Speaking of hustle, scooting back to first, the runner.
This will bring up Josh Haynes, the second baseman, number 8. With 2 outs, runner gets a nice lead again. See if he takes off during this at bat. Called strike. One and one. Fouled back. 1-2.
Pretty good rip on that 1-1 offering.
Pitch just misses. Third base coach again giving some signs. And the count runs full. Okay. It's going to be sliced foul down the third baseline. Count full, the runner was off and running. And 2 down. Runner off again. There's a slap down towards third. Gardner fires over to first, and there's the third out.
Well, I tell you what, he had to get that one or he was going to get it right in the chin.
Yes.
So good play to finish off the inning.
We go to the home half. No score.
Well, thanks to those Legion teams and communities that have helped to support today's broadcast. And, of course, that goes out to Arcadia, who you just saw on the screen, Denmark, Fenimore, Little Chute, Prairie du Chien, Viroqua, and Stratford helping us. We thank all of those Legion teams and communities bringing you today's ball games.
Cleanup batter at Garrett Johnson leads things off for Little Chute here in the bottom of the second. Johnson will be followed by Brock Gardner and Ethan Melendrez. There's a strikeout. Brock Gardner, the number 5 man in the order, steps up. Number 15, the third baseman. And there's a one hopper to Hagenau at short. He'll make the throw over to first for out number 2.
Liked how he was able to pick that up. He was already in the throwing motion as far as his stance, so it was a straight shot.
Number 4, Ethan Melendrez. Right fielder now batting with 2 outs. Count 1-1. Two and one. That was pitch number 24 from Rattay. Count even at 2. Foul ball.
Great reaction there by the catcher.
Yeah, quick hands.
Man.
Two outs. 2-2 pitch on its way. Swung on and missed. Catcher can't find it.
And then he realized, oh, right in front. That's a tough one.
Yep, it is.
Well, the pitcher will be credited with the strikeout, but obviously not the out.
Roland Schmidt, number 7. At the bat. Ground ball to the second baseman. Second baseman Haynes will flip to Hagnow, covering the bag at second. And we move to the third, no score. Top of the third inning, it'll be Reed Rattay, and then back to the top of the lineup for Jackson. No score in this game. We're in the top of the third. Reed Rattay, the pitcher. It's a called strike. Count 1-1.
I do want to say thanks to all of those terrific sponsors helping us out, and you'll see them throughout the broadcast, but also a quick shout out to Post 258 supporting the Little Chute baseball team, your American Legion Post 258.
All right, Ken, we're going to go back to the geography questions.
Oh, okay.
There's a swing and a miss by Rattay. Where is Jackson? And where is Little Chute?
So Little Chute is up around by the Kimberly area.
Okay.
And Jackson is over the Kettle Moraine Lutheran High School, I believe, is what one of our fine listeners told us yesterday.
All right, and that's where these young men go to school?
Yes.
Kettle Moraine. All right, that'll be one out. Back to the top of the order. It'll be Jackson Wallen. Wallen grounded out to the pitcher in his first appearance. And ground ball, two-hopper to the third baseman. Good job there by Brock Gardner. He fires on over to first for the second out.
Take a look at how do they come up with the assignments as far as A, AA, and AAA, but it's all based on your high school enrollment, 9, 10, and 11 is my understanding.
What about these teams that have, well, we'll say, for example, Prairie has got a young man from Wazeeka playing.
Yep. So they'll take their 9, 10, 11th grade enrollment as well.
A fly ball, the batter there, Elke. The shortstop is going to be Drew Jolton. He'll make the catch. For out number 3, we go to the home half of inning number 3. We're still tied at 0. All right. Home half of inning number 3. Silas Alcala leading things off. He pops this up. Catcher's going to go after it, but it's going to go beyond the fence. Number 8, 9, and 1 in the order for Little Chute. Count 0-2 on Alcala. One and 2. Behind the plate is Hunter Abitz, excuse me. Carson Rao is at first. Josh Haynes at second base. 1-2 pitch. Foul.
The catcher here, Chuck, I tell you what, he has got a build that tells me I would not want to run into him.
No, he's pretty well put together young man.
He is.
Landon Hagenow, the shortstop. Ben Mallow playing third. Ground ball towards the second baseman, Haynes. On over to first for the out. They bring up Tyler Fisher, the center fielder. Jackson Wallen playing left. Ben Stern is in center field, and Sam Elke in right. Fisher steps in with 1 out. Ouch. Off the fingers of the catcher. Foul ball.
Well, it could be an interesting matchup tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. The winner of this game takes on Denmark. Little Chute, by the way, again, talking with Coach, said that they're in the same conference high school-wise.
Okay.
And they've had, a game or two where it's been close, and he said, and then the other times Denmark really kind of gets our number. So you look to maybe get a good game here.
The 0-1 pitch. Called straight. Again, you saw Lynn Eisensee, the home plate umpire, after that last one. That foul ball went off the catcher's hand. He took his time, walked out a little bit, and then got the ball to the pitcher, give the catcher a little bit of time to recuperate from that. Again, there's the wisdom.
Yeah, there you go.
Behind the plate. Count 0-2 to Fisher. Pitch is high.
This same crew, I believe, has the 1 and 4 o'clock games tomorrow, and then they'll be done.
Well, our tournament will be getting close to being done there.
That's true.
Grounder to Hagnow out shortstop. He'll make out the throw, and we move to the top of the order with 2 outs. This is going to be Charlie Vandenberg batting. He struck out in his first plate appearance. We're in the 3rd. No score between Little Chute and Jackson. Vandenberg just finished his junior year in high school. He was an all-conference player. One for 3 yesterday, or in the previous game. Count it 2-1. The pitch swung on and missed.
Catcher again took that one right square in the face mask.
Count even at 2. Whoop. Batter says, that's only 3. Darn. Go back, get another one. You might hear some thumping as far as bass kind of sounding in the background. That's not mine or Kenny's heart. That is some music across the road. Blues Fest going on.
Yeah, that's now if I remember right, that's Todd Yeoman's deal, right?
Yes, sir.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
He's been doing that a long time.
Quite a few years. Yeah. Count full on Vandenberg. It's the 3rd time now the third base coach has showed off his arm.
Yep.
Strikes to the catcher with those balls that have been foul or out of play.
That's Coach Brady Wakeman.
Okay. Full count pitch. And there's going to be a base hit for Vandenberg. First hit of the game for Little Chute. And back to Caden Kerrigan. Called strike on Kerrigan. Kerrigan struck out in his last plate appearance. Kerrigan just finished his senior year in high school, all-conference selection also. 1 for 2 yesterday. Count 0-2 on him. Runner gets his lead. And there's a swing and a foul down the first base side. Good block by a bits. Where the sun is right now, Gonna make it a little tough for the third baseman. Shortstop a little bit on a fly ball. The same thing with the left and center fielders.
Yeah, center field, you can see he's got his glove up in the air trying to block the sun.
Ground ball, foul. We're at 7:37. One-two pitch. Is he called strike three? We go to the fourth, no score. For Jackson here in the top of the fourth would be the 3, 4, 5 batters. This will be Landon Hagenow batting first. Playing shortstop. He flew out to the right fielder in his first at bat. Hagenow will be a senior this fall. He was an all-conference player. 3 for 4 in his first game. Count at 2-0. The 3-0 pitch.
I'm not sure if that grazed him or if it was just a ball.
I think it grazed him. At least that's the way I'm going to put it down as far as I'm in the book here.
That's
Either way, Hagenow will be at first.
That's what I thought, but...
Hunter Abitz steps in now. The catcher. He flew out to left field to end the first inning. Third baseman inches in.
Speaking of inching in, I thought, watching the catcher here, I thought, boy, he is really close to the bat.
The fly ball out towards right, dropping quickly, but foul.
Very quick swing out of the batter here.
Abitz just graduated. Second team all conference. 0 for 4 in the first game. Looking for his first hit in the tournament. Cleanup batter. No score. We're in the fourth between Jackson and Little Chute. There's one that's hit hard out towards left. They're going to run all day. Runner from first is going to be waved home. And a double for a Bitz.
Just the crack of the bat, you knew that was going places.
Hit that one very hard.
Well, he got his first hit of the tournament there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which means he got his first RBI. I suspect.
Brewers not doing so well tonight, trailing 9-1 already. They give up 6 in the first, I know.
Oh,
And
really?
maybe more, at least 6 in the first.
Atlanta?
Yeah, they got a nice team.
They really do. That's something else.
They can hit the ball top to bottom of their lineup. Ben Mallow batting the count of 1-0. And he hits a line drive out towards center field. The center field backs up. Tyler Fisher, he'll make the catch. Quick throw back in. And the Bitz just beats the throw to the bag.
First baseman, number 2, Carson Rao.
Carson Rao batting. Rao, a fly out in foul territory to the first baseman, if I remember correctly. Ground ball. It's going to get beyond the shortstop there. Base hit for Rao. Betts moves over to third. There's runners at first and third. 1 run in, 1 out. Throw down to second as Rao is able to steal the base.
That was a pretty interesting slide going in head first, and he kind of took that right arm and swung it around, catching the back of second base.
Brings up Ben Stern, number 18. He has a count of 1-0, and Stern follows that back. Stern just graduated. 2 for 3 in the first game. Wishes he had that swing back. No.
Yeah.
Count at 1-1. Stern. Base runners at second and third. Good job by Akala behind the plate to keep that ball in front of him and not allow that runner from third to score.
Yeah, that's what you call using your body.
2-2 with 1 out. It's a fly ball out towards right center field. Who's going to catch it? It's going to be the center fielder, Tyler Fisher. He'll make the catch, but a run will score.
Oh, nice sacrifice fly there, getting it out to right center, as Chuck mentioned. And the squad from Jackson will put 2 up on the board now with 1 down.
I've got it at 2. We'll see. There's a fly ball out towards left, and it's going to go foul. I'm going to say that the scoreboard is incorrect.
Do you have,
I've got 2 outs.
2 outs. Oh, okay.
Runner on third. This is number 8, Josh Haynes batting. Count at 1-1 to Haynes. Called strike at 1-2. Swing and miss. And that was correct there, surprisingly, but that is the 3rd out.
You're on top of it.
Not very often. 2 runs across, as Ken said, here in the 4th inning for Jackson. They hold a 2-0 lead.
Well, we'll see what Little Chute has in store offensively when we come back.
Off the bottom of the 4th. Shortstop number 10, Drew Chute.
Little Chute will be led off by Drew Chute. That's going to get in the corner down the left field side. Chute into second with a double.
Yeah, he smoked that one.
First baseman number 30, Garrett Johnson.
Going to bring up Garrett Johnson. The first baseman, the cleanup hitter.
I don't think you want to make a mistake with this guy.
No. The big man can put one over the fence.
They have a brand new ball game again.
Johnson, the cleanup hitter, struck out in his first plate appearance. His uniform's just enough alike that a little difficult to tell them apart.
Yeah.
Sometimes. The 1-1 pitch. There's a ground ball foul. Johnson, all conference selection. Just graduated. 1 for 2 in the first game that the Little Chute played. But he holds the bat pretty calm and then just loads it up. There's a ground ball through the hole between short and third. Back-to-back base hits for Little Chute as they start the 4th inning here. Their half of the 4th inning.
You know, Chuck, your observation I thought was pretty good there. We're going to get a timeout here, but, you know, the batter, the big guy, Johnson, you said?
Yes.
You're right, but boy, he really has got a quick bat, too.
Yeah, when he loads it up.
Yeah. Well, let's take a little break here as looks like we might be having a pitching change. We'll return in a moment. As we come back, Chuck, a big opportunity here for Little Chute to try and make some noise, answering back to Jackson.
Yes, runners at first and third. We got a new pitcher in now. It's going to be Nolan Ebert, number 9. And at the plate, it will be Brock Gardner. Gardner grounded out to the shortstop. And he'll take the first pitch for a ball. Gardner will be a junior this fall. Electrical problem it looked like out there with the scoreboard. It went out and then flashed a couple times. Back on right now with the count 1-1. Nobody out. Runners at first and third. To 1 pitch. Swing and a miss by Gardner. Good healthy swing.
He might have been looking to take the lead.
Another swing and a miss.
Oh, that got my camera.
By Gardner. Yeah, I've got a different picture now.
I'll be back.
All right, the count at 2-2. Nobody out. Runners at first and third. Ken's going to go ahead and adjust that camera. That's going to be fouled. Well, your camera. Okay. Two pitch. And a swing and a miss. Ebert gets the strikeout. For out number 1. This will bring up Ethan Melendrez.
Number 4, Ethan Melendez.
Melendrez struck out, but then the catcher couldn't find the ball. Melendrez, a heck of a nice bunt and a close play at first, but Melendrez will be called out. Melendrez really hustling down the base path. Run scores. And Johnson over to second. 2 down. Having a problem with the scoreboard again. Pitch fouled on, swung, fouled off. Swung on and fouled off. This is Rowan Schmidt, number 7 batting. The fielder's choice. It's first at bat. 5th game of the day for us here. Fly ball out towards center field. Ben Stern is there. He'll make the catch for the out. But 1 run crosses the plate for Little Chute. We move to the 5th.
Now the umpires do. We're gonna fix that scoreboard just a second.
Top of the 5th. Scoreboard is incorrect. They're trying to get that fixed, but we're going to move on with the ball game. And there's a ground ball hit to the shortstop. Jolton over to Johnson for the first out. That was Reed with Tay batting. We're fixing the camera, fixing the scoreboard too. Back to the top of the lineup for Jackson, and this will be Jackson Wallen. Wallen 0 for 2 so far. Wallen will be a senior this fall. 2 for 4 in yesterday's game, 2 for 6 now in the tournament. A called strike. There's a fly ball out towards left center field, and it's going to fall in there for a base hit. And it'll be a double for Jackson Wallen. And that'll bring up Sam Elke. Elke reached on an error and flew out to the shortstop. Steps back. It's down to the coaches for a sign. Got the sign. And with 1 out, again, still working on the scoreboard. Runner at second. It's a strike to Elke. Here count, I believe, at 1-1 with one out. And we're now 2-1.
Well, we finally got the camera back behind the plate.
There's a pop-up. And it's going to be the center fielder, Tyler Fisher, hustling in to make the catch for out number 2. Brings up number 10, Landon Hagenow. Hagenow has flown out to right field and was hit by a pitch and scored. Hagenow takes another hit by pitch.
Boy, that was just zeroed right in on him.
Yeah. So runners at first and second. This is going to bring in Hunter Abitz. Abitz doubled towards left in his last at bat, and he also scored a little bit later. 2 outs. And there's a fly ball out towards deep center field. The center fielder is not going to be able to make the catch. The throw's going to come home. The runners will both score. And Abitz with another double.
Well, he really got a hold of that one again, like you said, Chuck, and sent it for a pretty good ride.
Probably why he's the cleanup batter.
Yeah. He was 0 for 4 prior to this.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's, what, 2 for 2? And that was his second
Yeah,
hit.
back-to-back doubles.
Yeah, wow.
4-1 is our game score.
See, just like that, he's hitting 333.
Ben Mallow batting now. Mallow has walked and flown out to center field. 2-0 the count. The strike. We move to 2-1. That was going to be high. Next pitch will be number 80 for Vandenberg. Count at 3-1. Runner at second. Mallow will take a walk.
First baseman, number 2, Carson Rao.
Brings up Carson Rao. First baseman. Rao 1 for 2. 2 for 4 in the tournament. Rao will be a senior this fall. All-conference player.
You see that ball curve coming in from behind home plate here.
The swing and miss by Rao. Rao quickly back in. Count at 0-2. Runners at first and second. They get their leads in the pitch. Bounces off the catcher. O'Connell, a good job back there, keeping it in front of it. 1-2 the count. The pitch is going to be high. Count goes to 2-2 with 2 outs. 2 runners on. Garrett Johnson that's playing first base. Rowan Schmidt, the second baseman, Drew Joten. The shortstop, Brock Gardner, is at third. There's a swing and a miss. Score after 4.5, 4-1, Jackson. Bottom of the 5th inning. Number 28, Silas Alcala batting. He pops his first pitch up. First baseman's going to call for it in foul territory, and Rao will make the catch for out number 1. Brings up Tyler Fisher. Fisher, the center fielder, number 12. Grounded out 6-3 in his first plate appearance. Follows that pitch back. You know, starting to get a few more flies in here right now.
Yeah.
But I tell you, that's a heck of a lot better than mosquitoes.
Yep.
And those mayflies, barge flies that we've had here too.
Oh, that wasn't that. What was that? That was a few years ago. We had a bunch.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That might have been in a regional tournament.
I think you're right. Felt like they were attacking the lights.
Mm-hmm. The 0-2 pitch delivered. There's a swing, and it's going to go a heck of a catch. I think they're going to call it a catch. Wow. Ben Stern all the way to his left on a dead run, dives, and he's able to pick that ball up before it hits the ground.
Yeah, and umpire Nick Betts got out there too to make sure it was a catch. Got to like that.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Back to the top of the order, Charlie Vandenberg. Getting at that time of day, that ball may be a little harder to see here for a while.
Yeah. It just did flip the lights on now.
Okay. The called strike. Vandenberg 1 for 2. Count evens at 2 with 2 outs. In the bottom of the 5th, Little Chute trails 4-1. A little looper out towards right field. The right fielder is going to be there, and Sam Elke makes a catch for the 3rd out. We move to the 6th.
Pretty good ball game, 4-1. Jackson over Little Chute.
Top of the 6th inning. It's going to be Ben Stern, Josh Haynes, and Reed Rattay. Number 7, 8, 9 in the order for Jackson. Jackson holding a 4-1 lead. Again, top of the 6th. Count at 1-1. I'm going to ground ball, and I'm going to put that one down as a base hit. That was a shot past the third baseman.
Second baseman, number 8, Josh Haynes.
Yeah, I don't think you could blink that fast. That's
No, that was pitch number 87 for Vandenberg. Going to bring up Josh Haynes. Second baseman, Haynes has grounded out to the third baseman and struck out. Tries to put down a bunt, but it'll go foul. See if he tries that again. One strike. Runs are precious. Have been all day.
That's so true.
He does put down a bunt. Pitcher grabs it, throws it on over to the first baseman covering. Sacrifice is complete. We have one out.
Pitcher number 9, Joel Ebert.
This is
actually Nolan Ebert batting
yeah.
now. Yep, good job. Ebert batting with a runner on second. The count 1-1. One out. Brewers trailing 11-1.
ouch.
Yeah.
The first score we didn't like. What are you doing?
The 2-1 pitch. Grounder to the second baseman. The second baseman, Schmidt, over to Johnson for the second out. Back to the top of the order, and it'll bring up Jackson Wallen.
Left fielder, number 4, Jackson Wallen.
Wallen doubled in his last appearance. Plate. 1 for 3 in this game. That was pitch number 95 from Vandenberg. 2 outs. And this is kind of a little looper, lace foul, and a good job there by Garrett Johnson. He'll make the catch for the third out. To the bottom of the sixth we go.
Nice job by the big guy. He ran right out of the screen to make that catch.
Bottom half of inning number 6. It'll be the 2-3-4 batters in Little Chute's lineup. This is Caden Kerrigan. Kerrigan 0 for 2. 2 strikeouts so far. 1 swinging, 1 watching. The 0-1 pitch. Count 0-2. On the mound, it's Nolan Ebert. There's a grounder towards the towards the second baseman. And that good hustle there by Kerrigan. Again, kind of a mix-up there as far as to who is to be doing what. And we're going to put that one down as a base hit.
Well, it was interesting because the first baseman broke for the ball, and then he thought, uh-oh.
And didn't get back.
Yeah. And Nolan was just half a step late getting a jump to go to cover.
Right. So this will be Drew Jolton batting now. Jolton 1 for 2 in the game, a run scored. Runner gets his lead. Nobody out. The 1-1 pitch. And it's going to be down in the dirt. And Kerrigan will take second. Jolton steps back in with the count at now 2-1. Three and 1. Score 4-1. Bottom half of inning number 6. Swing and fouled back by Jolton. Jolton just graduated this last spring, an all-conference player. He was 2 for 3 in the first game. And he'll pop that one out of play. Count full. Nobody out. Fouled off again. There's the strikeout for the first out. And this will bring up Garrett Johnson.
Number 30, Garrett Johnson.
Johnson 1 for 2. Single to left. Last at bat.
Yeah, quick bat for a big guy.
There's a wild pitch. Kerrigan moves on over to third.
Catcher and pitcher having a very quick conversation around home plate.
The 1-0 pitch. Count at 1-1. Reminds me, the big guy there, Johnson, reminds me of, and I think it was the movie Walking Tall.
Oh, yeah.
Was that Buford Pusser?
Yeah, that's kind of where I was going.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah. Big man with a big stick.
Yeah.
Count it 2-1 with 1 out, runner on third. Count it 2-2 to Johnson. Pitch fouled off. One out. Bottom of the sixth. 4-1 is our score. Another pitch fouled off by Johnson. Said Johnson, an all-conference player. He's finished his senior year in high school.
We
Count full.
just missed on that one. Again, watching the movement of the ball, that one, it was outside, but again, he was right in the area.
He's popped up. First baseman's going to make the call, and he'll make the catch in foul territory. 2 down.
Third baseman, number
Catch
15,
made by Carson Rowell. And Brock Gardner. Number 15 steps up. 0 for 2 today. Gardner will be a junior this fall. Fouled off by Gardner. And the count at 1-1. Count moves to 1-2. Still have a runner on third. And that's a swing and a miss. Catcher's able to get it. He'll throw it on down first to get the out. We go to the 7th. Jackson with a 4-1 lead.
Well, as Chuck mentioned, we move into the 7th inning here, and Jackson holding on to that 4-1 lead.
And this will be Sam Elke leading things off for Jackson. Elke 0 for 3. He'll be a senior this fall. He'll take a ball 2. He was also an all-conference player. Looking for his first hit in the tournament. 0 for 5 right now. And there's a fly ball out towards left field. And the left fielder will make the catch in foul territory for out number 1.
Way in the corner, I couldn't even get to him.
Shortstop, number 10, Landon.
Again, we're in the 7th. Jackson holding a 4-1 lead. Jackson batting here in this top of the 7th. To bring up Landon Hagenow. Hagenow has reached twice, both times with a hit by pitch, and he did score both times that he got on base too. And there's a little looper towards the second baseman. Rowan Schmidt will make the catch for out number 2. 2 outs here in the top of the 7th.
A rather quick-paced game here, Chuck.
Yep. Well, pitchers have been throwing strikes.
Yep.
Catcher, number 12, Hunter Evans.
This will be Hunter Abitz, the catcher. Back-to-back doubles for Abitz. Abitz just graduated. Again, a second-team all-conference player. Now 2 for 7 in the tournament. Those back-to-back doubles.
Tournament starts tomorrow with 1 o'clock ball game. That will feature Prairie du Chien and Viroqua. Those two always seem to tangle no matter where they're at. So again, 1 o'clock start time. That one off the back of the batter here. Then the loser of this game will take on Stratford at 4 o'clock. The 7 o'clock contest will feature Denmark, and whoever wins this one right now in the driver's seat is Jackson.
Bring up Ben Mallow, number 7. Mallow has walked twice and flown out to center field.
The 1 o'clock game tomorrow is a true elimination game. The 4 o'clock game is, well,
That would be also, wouldn't it?
actually it is. You're right. They both are true elimination because they both have had a loss. I've had the double take on that one. Thanks, Chuck.
Mallow batting with a 2-0 count. 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Mallow just graduated this year. 0 for 3 in the first game. looking for his first hit, though he has reached base twice by walk. Toss over to first. Back safely is a bits.
He had to do the full body dive on that one.
This would be the last batter, I believe, for the pitcher, as he's at 108 pitches. Vandenberg. 2 outs. Count it 3-1. Toss over to first. There's a grounder out in front of the plate. The catcher's going to hop on that, and he'll throw down to first for the 3rd out.
Real nice play there by the catcher, showing some quickness. Well, we'll come back with the bottom of the 7th inning. Little Chute, well, they need to score 3 runs to keep this game alive. All right, back we come here. It's the bottom half of the 7th here, Chuck. And I tell you what, it's been a pretty well-played game, as we just mentioned. And, well, you're looking to see if you can close it out now.
Yes, score at 4-1. We have a pitching change. This will be Josh Haynes pitching now for Jackson. I think Ebert to second. There's a fly ball to left field, and Jackson Wallen will make the catch for out number 1.
Second baseman, number 7, Rowan Schmidt.
That was Ethan Melendrez just batting. This will be Roland Schmidt batting now. Schmidt over 2. And we're in the bottom half of inning number 7. 4-1 is the score. Jackson looking to get the last 2 outs here and move on to the championship game tomorrow evening. Schmidt with the count 3-0 on him. And Schmidt will reach base. How to bring up Silas Leclau. Actually, we have a different batter in here. This is number 6, Colin Gast.
Now batting number 6, Colin Gass.
Gassed up with 1 out and a runner on. Called strike on Gast. Pops this one up. Who's going to call for it? It'll be the shortstop. And Hagen now will make the catch for out number 2. Little shoot.
Center fielder number 12, Tyler Fisher.
Down to the last out. It'll bring up Tyler Fisher, 0 for 2. Number 12 will be a senior this fall. Swing and miss by Fisher. The 0-1 pitch. Grounded towards third. The third baseman, Mallow, on over to first. And that will be your ball game.
Final score.
Well, 4-1 is the final. We'll take a little break here and have Chuck get recap ready for us, and we'll return and tell you what we saw here tonight in this ball game. Well, the game now complete here. We can give you the, here's what we know taking place tomorrow. It will be Prairie du Chien and Viroqua at 1 o'clock with the elimination game, followed by elimination game number 2 at 4 o'clock with Little Chute and Stratford. And winners bracket, Denmark will be taking on Jackson. Of course, Jackson coming up with that 4-1 victory here over Little Chute. Well, let's turn our attention to Chuck with a recap of tonight's ball game.
All right, thanks, Ken. Again, the final score 4-1 for Little Chute. They, on the short end of that 4-1 score, they have 1 run on 4 hits, no one with multiple hits for Little Chute. Jackson wins 4-1, 4 runs on 5 hits, 2 hits for Hunter Abitz. He has 2 doubles. The only man with multiple hits, again, Jackson with the win 4-1.
And Abyss coming off from an 0-4 showing early, but that's kind of goes to show you, if you stay in there and keep a good mental look on things, and some great things can happen.
You bet.
And speaking of great things, that's what took place here for Jackson. Well, Chuck, a bit of a long day with
Long day,
five games.
But,
But they did a great job. They got things started at 9 o'clock, and we were caught up by 1 o'clock with our game times for today and finished off in good style.
yes, sir.
Thanks for being here once again, and we look forward to tomorrow where we'll be back here for a 1 o'clock start.
Yeah, it should be some great baseball.
We look forward to that. We hope that you can join us as well here at Prairie Chien for the Class A state championships. 2 losers games, elimination games, and then the championship at 7. We'll start at 1 o'clock, 4, and then 7. For Chuck Rasmussen, I'm Ken Manning saying thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock. So long for now.